I'm going to show you the best way to execute trades using a chart. In this video, we're going to go over two of my favorite platforms for trading futures. I will give you some info and show you how it's done. So a trading view, you're going to go on and you can essentially select whatever broker it is you want. You can use different prop firms that are associated with Tradeovate, or you can even use you could use personal brokers. In this tutorial, I'm going to just be using a funded account. But the way that I like to execute my trades is very simple. I always like to use some sort of auto bracket or a bracket order, this right here. And now you could go ahead and create a new order, and you're going to see you get this order form, and it's full of a bunch of nonsense, but I'm going to make it real simple for you. These are your different types of orders. For us, I want a stop order because I want to enter as price breaks below. This is essentially going to be a market order at a specific price. Market orders, on the other hand, just put you in the trade right now, which I could just click this button and do that. So if I want to get into a trade at a specific price, let's just say I want to enter short on gold at, let's just say 23. I can go ahead and go to the sell, stop. So this is not a stop loss, but it is a stop market order. This would be my stop loss, and you can tell what the contract size will be based on how much risk I want to have. And I can go ahead and do this a few different ways. So I could put like $200 here, and it'll tell me essentially how big the stop's going to be. If I move it, there's a bunch of different variables. You get the little calculator right here to change your quantity, and then your units of risk right here in dollars. So for this illustration, we're going to be just shorting gold, 3 contracts under 23, and our stop's going to be at 32, and our target will be 3,200. So what I would do is I go ahead and I would hit send, right? This order will get filled when price dips below this level. Now, the reason I like using that form versus something like this is because now this is a bracket order, meaning these orders are all connected. So if something happens with one of them, the rest get taken off. So as this trade goes ahead, and it will trigger in a second, there we are. So the order is now triggered, and we already know what the dollars associated with the stop loss would be, as well as the target down here. When this eventually works, I can go ahead and drag these orders right here. The cool thing is you can always pull up orders using hotkeys. This is Shift T, pulls this up. If you look around the app, there should be a list of what the hotkeys. You can see all right here for trading. You can get real quick with that. It's an edge in itself to be good with order execution. When I traded options, I had a lot of hotkeys. I was very, very, very quick. I knew how to have watch lists for the option contracts I wanted. So it was just a click, and then I can just immediately buy at the ask, buy at the bid, or sell at the ask. And it just made things a lot quicker. With futures, I don't find it as necessary to be very fast, but you do want to be organized. And I think this is the best way to do it on TradingView. Now, what I personally prefer to use 9 times out of 10, just based on the speed, the accessibility, the ease of it, I like using Project X. I am funded with Top 1 Futures. When we go over to this platform, we'll open up a practice account right here, and I'm gonna go over some of the functionality. So you do have the DOM. I can simply just look at this and put an order out. By clicking that, it's gonna fill me at the market. Now I can either set limits like that, or I right click and pull up. What I like to do is have those auto brackets right here. And what happens is when I enter a trade, I'm going to measure how big the size of the stop would be. And what I will do is, let's just say right here is going to be 8 points. So let's just say I want to short 10 contracts, right? And my stop will be based on that $400. And you can see that that popped up right there. If I want that to be smaller, I would do something like that. And you can see that this would be how the trade is organized based on the risk reward that I want. I would just do the math and it would fill out that way. Now I could take partials along the way. I can go here and I could buy one there, buy one there, buy one there. And you can see that's real easy to exit the trade in partial profits. So I recommend having a very orderly process. It's also very easy to use this stuff on mobile, which I'll go ahead and show you right now. I guess I'll just go ahead and screen record and throw it in the video. So as you can see right here, when I pull up the mobile app, you'll have some sort of trading view layout. I have my chart set up as such. I have the axis on the left, and you can see that the trade's working in our favor, and we're slowly moving towards the target for now, right? So then if I want to, I could decide to move the stop to break even at some point, or I could just leave it alone. But as you can see on the mobile app, it is very easy to use. Even if I wanted to go in here and let's just say I wanted to execute another trade, you can see I could go in here and I could see this NQ, right? Maybe I like the long setup, maybe I like the short setup, whatever it might be. I can go ahead and go in here and I can hit plus, create new order. Then I would do stop market buy. As you know, that's the preference that I have. I can just drag this and drag this, which would give me a good idea of what I'm going to risk. And let's just say $100 isn't enough. Maybe I want to do more, maybe I want to do less. So I could do 10 contracts, and you can see that the risk associated would increase. So they make it very easy for you to use this on mobile, which is nice. So let's just say that's the trade I did want to take. I could go ahead and do that. And it's just a very, very, very simple way to get in and out of the market. It's always good to have backup options. So I recommend either TradingView with Tradeovate, which is my second favorite option. And then if you want a better mobile option, I'll show you right here. And then if we're looking at the mobile app again, you can see Project X right here. I have the DOM on one tab. Another tab will give me charts. Let's just say I want to pull up the chart we're looking at. Let's just say, actually, we think the long is on, right? That's the trade we want to be involved in. Again, on the practice account, we're just showing you how you can double tap here, drag, drop, and that will get you the brackets you need. You can change the size of the contracts. You go back to the depth of market. You can put limit orders out wherever you want. And you can see that very easily I can access in and out of trades. But for the most part, I find this very easy to use. You change the buttons around a little bit to whatever your preference is. This is mine. You could get funded 45% off by stacking code GIFT and code DTA. As always, 40% off stands, but for the next few hours, you get 45% if you use the two. Here's the different account sizes. You got challenge accounts, you got instant sim funded. You can compare the different terms. I use a 150K account. I copy trade the 3. You're allowed to. It's just what I prefer to use with Project X. So info will be down below. Until next time, take care.